Alright, so this is a stupid thing that my friend and I want to do for a while. We're gonna be reading a bunch of bad creepypastas to celebrate spooky season. Uh, Waleed, say anything.
What's good?
I'm gonna turn your volume up a little bit, because...
I will.
Okay, so we're already reading a bunch of like classic creepypastas and like one that we've never seen before. And to start it off, we're gonna obviously read Jeff the Killer. So if you don't wanna hear it for the 1000th fucking time, here's a timestamp on the screen, so you'll know to skip it. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Okay, there you go. I will be reading like mostly the story. We'll like take turns being the characters. Then he'll read the next one, and then I'll go back to it. He'll read the next one, vice versa. So this is Jeff the Killer. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story.
I had a bad dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and I tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of... He's illustrating an image for you guys. Just
no, not even Sorry,
there in the little ray of light illuminating from between my curtains were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he finally said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming it at my heart. He then jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. How would they have
already alerted the police at this point?
Maybe like the neighbor was like spotted from like across the...
Did the neighbor go, "I'm calling the police"? Like, did they do that? Did they shout that out loud?
They probably like were like probably witnessing this kid and dad like fighting out this scrawny little...
But it's dark in the room. It's only illuminated by their like curtains and like the blue night sky.
Do you see how white Jeff is, bro? He could probably see him for fucking... Alright, anyways, let's continue. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was already broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face, those cold, evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head.
Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department. And it immediately just cuts to the origin. There's no like build up. There's no like transition.
There's not even like a border. It's just yeah.
It's like a newspaper thing. Like police are still looking for this man, and then it's Jeff and his family. God, this is horrendous. Jeff and his family had moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house was not to love. As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you." "Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce you to my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. They didn't even like quote it. It just Billy says hi.
Alright, let me.
Jeff's mom.
Well, Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my 2 sons, Jeff and Liu.
They each
How do you
introduced
Liu?
themselves.
I'm gonna say Liu.
I think it's just Lou.
Liu. Okay.
They
Okay.
each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Mom, why don't you invite us to the kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid.
Jeff, we just moved here. We should show the neighbors. Wait, we should show the neighbors that we want to spend time with them. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final.
I love it. This is like there's like zero debate.
I'm just a dumb kid, Mom.
I love that there's zero debate. It's like, Mom, we're not some dumb kid. Jeff, we just moved here. We should show that we want to be with our neighbors. Now we're going, and that's final. Like, there is no debate with this mom. Jeff started to talk, but couldn't stop himself. But stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling, but suddenly he got a weird feeling.
Oh my god,
Not so much of
there it
pain,
is.
but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mom calling him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. So he went up and down the stairs for no reason. I love this story. It's so bad.
Wait.
The
Alright.
next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast to get ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them. Only inches above their laps. They both jumped back.
How
in surprise.
short are they?
Hey, what the hell? The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught him with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and Aeropostale shirt and red blue jeans. There you go.
Well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, 2 kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other one was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce you ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over to the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him.
Why did he immediately pull out a knife? What the fuck?
Because this is like the 80s or something. I don't fucking... I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Lee gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Okay, so I gotta say this. I love that, like, the kid just walks up to Lou and takes his wallet from his pocket. Like, he knows the exact pocket. Like, he doesn't, like, pat him down. He just, like, reaches into his pocket and pulls out the wallet.
I wonder what, like, the thought process of this author was. Like, he started off trying to tell, like, a creepypasta, like, a creepy story associated with this image, and then he immediately goes to talk about how Jeff is such a loser. Like, he immediately gets bullied on by 3 kids.
No. What was the habit to make up for it? It's gonna be really cool.
Oh,
Listen here,
yeah,
you little
yeah,
punk.
yeah.
Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife.
Oh, and what would you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed the knife into his arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need a knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell over, he puked all over. Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. This is a 13-year-old fucking flipping a kid over his shoulder, fucking punching.
Is this Troy the fat one? I thought Troy was the fat one. How would he go down so easily?
Hold on. Wait, let me
Yeah,
see,
Troy's the fat one, and he's Troy. They looked over
Yeah.
at the fat kid. He went down in a single punch. Okay.
Well,
you can see
as we see later,
Lou.
you'll see his punches are... Okay. Oh, I'm Lou? Okay.
Yeah, you're
Jeff.
Lou. I'll just be Jeff.
How'd you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and they knew they'd be blamed for it. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help but feel happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away from the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice,
It was a wonderful day.
Next morning, he heard... Oh,
No, take over.
Sorry.
Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look.
Jeff! Wait. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked the 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that was true.
Mom, they're the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou.
Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, and one of them having a bruise on his stomach. And we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou have been attacked, but there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they were fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Son, call down your brother.
I like
Jeff
that,
couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids.
I like that, like, when the police is talking about the kids who were attacked, how do you describe them? We found 3 kids stabbed, 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach. What?
He punched that fat kid so hard, he like left him. Bro,
The kid is like, dude, there were 2 kids who were stabbed. It was like, oh, like, these kids are stabbed. 3rd one, were you hurt? And he just lifts his stomach. He punched my belly.
Wait, they were stabbed? I thought
2
one
of them were stabbed, and the 3rd one was just punched
no,
in the stomach.
no, hold on. I could have sworn he like broke one of their wrists and then he knocked somebody to the ground. Hold on, wait. Let me double check. Hold on. Pull out his own knife, yada. Okay, yep, he stabbed him in the arm. Okay, you're right. Never mind.
Where were we again? You're at this, you're at Sonic Quality Brother. Okay. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. He tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner and they nod.
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. Wait! Says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked him on Lou. It was me! I beat up those little punks. Had the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves and revealed cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops.
No, Lou, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face.
Huh, poor bro. Tried to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. Wait, that was Lou talking. I thought it was Lou.
That was Lou.
Poor bro. Trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Lou out to the patrol car.
Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders.
Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. This is the shittiest
She
mother
is so
ever.
like ignorant. Like, she is not like. It's okay, Jeff. Your little brother did it. We know. Good look. Look. He had the
Officers
knife.
never lie, Jeff. Jeff watched helplessly as the cops' cars. Wait, fuck, I can't speak. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong.
I'll do the
Son?
Jeff dad voice.
Oh, okay, you can do it. You can do it.
Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff left in the driveway. After
What
an
a
hour or so,
bitch.
Jeff walked back in the house. Seeing his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep. He did the thing. He went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Lou at JDC. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face.
Sunshiny face. Alright. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains, let light flood into his room.
What? What's today? Asked Jeff. Jeff? Asked Jeff as he stares awake.
Why, it's Billy's party. He's
Billy?
now fully awake.
Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to another lame kid's party after... There's a long pause.
Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be a thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt, a pair of jeans, and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? That is kind of true. Like, what the fuck? It's just something. Anyways, continue.
That's Jeff's mom right here, so you do it.
No, it's you. I don't have any fancy clothes.
Wait, what?
Wait.
No, you went too far ahead.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. My fault. I'm not okay. Son, is that all you're going to wear?
Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile.
Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you. Wait, this is okay.
Fuck, it's hard to tell if it's the mother or father speaking. And now, Jeff,
the way
maybe
he writes is so weird.
But this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back into his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs.
Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with the dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on.
It's so cringe. He literally wrote this story on the picture alone. Like, you can tell he just saw this picture and wrote it based on it. You're wearing
Does he even
that?
have a white sweater in the...
Yeah, I guess. They're wearing something light. We will have to say you're wearing that. You're wearing that?
Wait. Sorry. I'm trying.
Did you scroll up to the fucking picture?
Yeah, I tried to look at the... Sorry.
God damn it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, alright,
down.
sorry. One more time. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. No time to change. Let's just go, she said as she heard Jeff and his father out of the door. What the fuck am I thinking? They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and as it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids.
The kids are out in the yard,
Jeff.
Motherfucker.
Oh, sorry. Fucking dude, we're so cooked. Right.
I'll be Barbara, Jeff's dad, and Jeff.
I'll be Billy.
Yeah, you'll be Billy, and the other fucking kids there.
Okay.
Okay. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go meet some of them? Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes, shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. I love they just randomly dropped Toys R Us in this. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat.
Hey, wanna play? He said.
No, kid. I'm way too old for that stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face.
Please, said the kid.
Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first, that's what we call foreshadowing. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might have been super cool. I love that that's his concern, as if it's cool or not. I love that. You can tell this is written by a teenager. It may not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the big gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred.
Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. Wait, fuck.
No, that's me.
Why does he wear it like that, bro?
Yeah, look at the quotation mark. It's misplaced completely. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to JDC.
Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked your ass that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and head-butted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled out guns out of their pockets. No one interrupts
or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed into his shoulder. These kids have guns. How? How do they know this is where Jeff would be? Do they just jump over every fence when they hear people talking?
They probably just guessed like that he would be at the party randomly. I don't know. No wait, what if Billy is like an insider? Billy's like an insider.
Billy's an insider. Yeah, he like fucking texted him, "Yo, Jeff the killer is here."
Jeff the killer.
Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Rennie started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff, there should be was it an apostrophe? I don't know.
Comma.
There should be a comma there. After 3 kicks, comma.
Jeff
grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him.
Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of a collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. This is anime, bro. This is you punch in his stomach and blood spits out of your fucking mouth.
Punch him in his stomach and it bruises your stomach.
Come on, Jeff! Fight me! He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the... Why is there vodka at a kid's birthday party? Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff! Look at me! Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Dude, Jeff starts to get up.
I like that, Are you sure his face is riddled with blood and not just vodka that you slammed over his fucking head? Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, vodka is... I mean, probably the blood is probably from the glass, but... Come on, Jeff. Look at me! Wait, no, I already said that one. Oh, finally! You stand up and fight! Jeff is now to his feet in blood. Wait, fuck. Is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling. The one in which he hasn't felt for a while, which is like 10 minutes. Finally! He's up! Says Randy as he runs at Jeff.
Take over from here.
That's when it... Okay.
That's what happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop.
Bro, it's fucking...
As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies.
Wait, so he like punched holes into him Is that what's trying to convey? Like he like punched him so hard that blood like what the fuck? Because the punch to the heart, his heart stopping wasn't enough to kill him. It was him getting punched over and over again.
I'm gonna remind you that this kid, Jeff, was overpowered by some like 10-year-old at the start of the story. Everyone is looking at Jeff now.
Okay.
The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith.
Where's the mom and dad?
Although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff, Jeff sees the guns train at him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith, there should be a comma there. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. Here's Troy and Keith follow up behind as they let out their final rounds of bullets.
Why are the adults not doing anything? Like these are kids. All these are kids. Like,
noticing a lack of commas. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, comma, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack to Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy. No way that's all it took to take down the fat kid. Dude, the fat kid is the weakest one. Talk about a love of tard. Was it? No, it was a tub of lard.
Talk about a tub of lard.
Tub of lard. All that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him to the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf.
A thing of bleach?
It burnt both of them, and they both started to... That is not how this bleach works. It doesn't burn you the second it touches you. He pushed him to the wall. A thing of bleach fell on them. They both scream. Jeff wiped the bleach from his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there... It should be a lie. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. What's so funny? Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on.
Oh my God. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol.
Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff. You know, and they weren't already screaming at the gunfire. No. When they saw Jeff on fire, that was what caused it.
And they're not even trying to like put him out or anything.
They just stand there in horror and screaming. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff. Now a man on fire dropped to the ground nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm. Just some tube. And when he tried to get it up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. I don't think you should get out of bed just yet. Sorry, I don't think you should get out of bed just yet, she said as she put him back into bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there.
Just stabs him again.
No idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother.
Honey, are you okay? She asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Lou go. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says, "Fucking, oh, we're so." Okay, continue. You go.
Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. Also, that last thing she said, he'll be out tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again. No parent talks like that. Like, she's making it sound like only sorry for those clicks. She's making it sound like only Jeff cares about Lou. Like the parents don't give a shit about. Like finally, you two will be happy together. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff.
We have to go out and be in our fancy
to fancy parties, in our fancy vodka kid birthday parties. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family, and came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like, as the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face. Everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the covering face was almost removed.
Let's hope for the best, said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from his face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face.
What? Oh, what happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of the bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of distress. His face. It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned to a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black.
Singed, yeah.
He slowly put his hand to his face. He had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back to the mirror. You're Lou.
Jeff? Oh yeah, right. Jeff, said Lou. It's not that bad.
Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect! His family were eagerly surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. There should be a period there. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching.
Jeff, are you okay?
Okay. I've never felt more happy. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting this is stupid. What caused this? Well, you may recall when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind.
Trivia.
His sanity snapped.
No.
Now he just left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know.
Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son all right? You know, in the head. oh yes. This behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here, and we'll give him a psychological test. Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go.
Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed in a crazy smile. Hey, mommy. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his gloves.
This is what came in,
said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress and white hoodie her son wore, completely untouched from the fire.
No, they're stitched together.
That's bullshit. They should be on fire. They should be burnt. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched. Okay, whatever. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put on his clothes. Then they left, not knowing that this is their final day of their life. Later that night...
Subtle foreshadowing.
Jeff's mother woke... Yeah, this is David Cage writing.
David Cage.
Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked at the bathroom... There should be a comma. When she looked at the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Oh shit. Wait. Jeff, what are you doing?
Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't stop smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed. Dude, this is so bad.
Forgot to put quotes.
Yeah, there's no quotation marks there. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black.
Jeff, your eyes.
His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burnt out the eyelids so I could forever see myself. My new face. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife.
Oh my god! You see your kid being a fucking weirdo, so you go grab the gun. My god.
We're gonna kill him.
We're gonna kill Jeff before he becomes Jeff the Killer. We're gonna kill the Jeff before he's Jeff the Killer.
We're gonna kill Jeff the Killer.
Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. His brother Lou
Damn.
woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up, for Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Go to sleep. And that was Jeff the Killer.
That was
Piece
fantastic.
of shit.
That was fantastic. That was
God.
fantastic.
Dude, I feel like Jeff because I've been smiling this whole time. It actually hurts. It's so bad.
You can stop Jeff from becoming Jeff the Killer.
Oh my god. Alright, hold up.
Just-
Hold up.
Children.
Alright.
There's dead children.
So this one's gonna be a little weird to read because it has like really yikes stuff. But for the sake of being authentic, I will still read it. Regardless, I will not pull a Ray William Johnson. I will not censor what I'm about to say.
Do you want me to voice Squidward?
I don't think Squidward doesn't talk at all in this.
He does talk. He does talk.
When?
Wait, no. Wait.
No, he never talks.
Oh shit, never mind. No,
Yeah,
yeah, there's no quotes. Never mind, never mind.
Yeah,
never mind.
I'll just read it because it's an intern who watches it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Squidward's Squidward's unalive. No, I'm kidding. Squidward's suicide.
Just pew pew. Slip and
Squidward
slide.
puts the pew poo to himself and unalives himself.
Exactly.
So, but before I even say this, I'm a fucking SpongeBob fanatic. This was my first creepypasta, and I thought this shit was 100% real when I was in 2nd grade. I thought why would they lie on the internet? I thought this was absolutely fucking real. I was horrified of like the fucking like picture associated with this story. And one time, you know, at my mom's, like my like brothers, like I was like showing them like Squidward's suicide. There's like a video that went along with it, like a 2-minute long video, and I was like so horrified to watch it that I made my like middle brother watch it. So he went in the other room and watched it, and he came back straight faced and was like, "Dude, it's just a picture. It's just a picture." And there's a guy going, "Oh no," in the background the whole time. That's all it is. Just yeah, I was horrified of Squidward's suicide. I thought it was real. So I'm about to relive it. I just want to start by saying that if you want an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year, 2005, for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course. Most internships aren't. But it did have a perk beyond education. To adults, it may not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time, they would go crazy over it. Since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got to view new episodes days before they aired. I'll get right to it without giving any unnecessary details. They had a very recently made SpongeBob movie. The entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the new season. Which actually isn't true. I'm sorry, I'm the SpongeBob nerd real quick. That's not true. Season, like, I think like the link between season 2 and 3. So, SpongeBob timeline, because I know you're not like a big SpongeBob guy. Season 1, 2, 3 movie, and then season 4. The time between 2 and 3, I believe, was longer than seasons 3 and 4, and they made a movie in the middle of that, so this is already not true. Sorry, I had a nerd out.
Fake SpongeBob fan. Fake
Yeah,
SpongeBob
sorry, I
fan.
had a nerd out already about SpongeBob. The entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start the season, but the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the Series 4 premiere. Series 4? Say Season 4? What the fuck? Series 4 premiere
Series
that
4
set
premiere.
everyone and everything back several months. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room, along with the lead animators and sound editors for the final cut of the episode. We received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of a Krabby Patty, and gathered around the screen to watch. And Fear of a Krabby Patty is the Season 4 like actual premiere. It's a very good episode. I love it. Now, given that the final cut isn't final yet, animators often put up mock title cards at the beginning. It's sort of an inside joke for us, with phony, oftentimes lewd titles being used, such as "How Sex Doesn't Work," instead of "Rockabye Bivalve," in which SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scout. Which, if I'm not mistaken,
Is true.
That is actually true. They do that. Nothing particularly funny, just work-related chuckles. So when we saw the
Yeah.
title card "Squidward Suicide," we didn't think in more than a morbid joke. one of the other interns did a small throat laugh at it. The episode started with the happy-go-lucky music playing as normal. The story began with Square practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside. Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down, as he has a concert that night and needs practice. How the fuck you get a concert? SpongeBob says okay, and goes to see Sandy with Patrick. The little splash screen comes up, and we see the ending of Squidward's concert. Squidward's concert. This is when things began to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. It's supposed to be synced with the animation, so yes, that's not common. But when Squidward stops playing, the sound finishes as if the skip never happened. There was a slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. Not the normal cartoon booing that's common in the show, mind you. You could very clearly hear malice in it. How is that any different from a cartoon booing? Did they take like a real life speech and then they just put like the booing over that?
Hyper-realistic booing.
Squidward's in full frame and looks visibly afraid. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in the center frame. He too is booing, which is very much unlike him. That isn't the oddest thing though. What's odd is that everyone has hyper-realistic eyes, all very detailed. Clearly not shot to real people's eyes, but something a bit more real than CGI. The pupils were red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused, but since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. The shot goes to Squidward standing on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out of his porthole window is of a night sky, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is that at this point, there's no sound. Literally zero sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off, though their statuses, though their statuses showed them working perfectly. Squidward just sat there in silence, blinking, for about 30 seconds, then starts to sob softly. He puts his hands, tentacles. That's how he cries in the show, by the way. He puts his hands, tentacles in parentheses, over his eyes and cries quietly for a full minute. All the while, a sound in the background is very gradually growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounds like a slight breeze through a forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slowly, I mean it's only noticeable if you look at shots 10 seconds apart from the side. His sobbing gets loud. How do you even notice that then? Were you looking at them side by side? How would you notice that? Whatever. His sobbing gets louder and more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if to twist in on itself for a split second before going back to normal. The wind through the trees sound gets louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part is that the sound and Squidward's sobbing sounded real. It wasn't it was like actual crying. It wasn't like it was coming to the speakers, but the speakers themselves were holes that the sound was traveling through from the other side.
So speakers.
As good a sound as a studio likes to have, they don't have the equipment to be able to produce audio of that quality. Below the sound of the wind and sobbing, very faintly audible, something sounded like laughing. It came out odd intervals and never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. You watched this episode twice, so pardon me if things sound too specific, but I've had time to think about them. After 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently, and something flashed over it, as if a single frame was replaced. And this is the warning I gotta give you. This is very fucking not good.
This
you know, I'll put a time card on the
2010s,
screen. If you don't want to hear me describe this, you have a few seconds to click on this, because this is for the time.
2010s.
Yeah, this is poor taste. All right, there you go. Lead animation editor, pause and rewound frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. It was a still photo of a dead child. He couldn't have been more than 6. His face was mangled and bloodied. One eye dangling over it popped.
Oh my God.
He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach crudely cut open and his entrails splayed out beside him. He was laying on some pavement that was probably a road. That is so fucked up. The most upsetting part was that there was a shadow of the photographer, but no crime tape, evidence tags, or markers, and the angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It would seem that they were the person responsible for the child's death. We were, of course, mortified, pressed on, hoping that there was some sick joke. Dude, if I saw that, I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm reporting it immediately. I wouldn't keep watching. I love SpongeBob, but I would not keep watching it if they showed me some.
I want to see how this ends. Come on.
All right. You may have fast forward to past that. We're back. On the screen, flip back to Squidward, still sobbing louder than before, half of his body in frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down his face from his eyes. The blood was also done in a hyper-realistic style, looking as if you'd get it on your fingers if you touched the screen. That's stupid. The wind sounded now as if it were that of a gale blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds like of branches. The laughing, a deep baritone, lasted for longer intervals and came more frequently. After about 20 seconds, the screen again twisted and showed a single frame photo. Again, warning.
How does he notice all this in like if it's like a frame?
The show I believe ran at 30 FPS, so they had like 2 like frames technically to notice it.
Fucking nerd emoji.
sorry. But again, yeah, warning on screen. Another really graphic thing. That's what the pop-up. Go to this timestamp if you don't want to hear it. Alright, here we go. The editor was reluctant to go back. We all were, but we knew we had to. This time, the photo appeared of a little girl, no older than the first child. She was laying on her stomach, her barrett's in a pool of blood next to her. Her left eye was damaged in the same way as the boy, and she was naked except... Come on!
Yeah, my god.
Come on! This is actually making me angry, dude. Oh my god. This is so fucking, she was naked except for her underpants.
Like...
Her entrails were piled on top of her above another crude cut along her back. Again, the body was on the street and the photographer's shadow was visible. Very similar in size and shape to the first. I had a choke back vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out. The show resumed. And we're back. If you skipped, we're back. About 5 seconds after the second photo played, Squidward went silent. All sound cut out like it did when the scene started. He put his tentacles down. His eyes were now done hyper-realism like the others were at the beginning of the episode. They were bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. He just stared at the screen, as if watching the viewer. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud. The most fear-inducing thing of all was the sobbing was mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dripping down his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, and so did the deep voice laughing. This time, with a still photo that lasted for a good 5... Jesus fucking Christ! Another one? Okay. Again, on screen, you know what, fuck it, just skip this story, it's not good. I'll put 2 timestamps on screen. Yeah, this fucking sucks. The animator was able to stop it on the 4th and back up. This time the photo was of a boy the same age, but the scene was different. Jesus fucking Christ. His entrails were being pulled out from his stomach by a wound by a large hand. The right eye popped out and dangling, blood trickling down it. The animator proceeded. The next frame was different, but we couldn't tell how. He continued to the next image and it was the same thing. He then went back to the first and played them quicker, and I lost it. I vomited on the floor. The animation and sound editors gasped at the screen. The 5 frames were not different photos. They were frames from a video.
So it's a jazz video. I was gonna say, like...
We saw the hand slowly lift out the guts. We saw the kid's eyes focus on it. We even saw 2 frames of the kid beginning to blink. I feel like if your guts were being ripped out of your body, you wouldn't even like have time to blink because your eyes would be pulsating out of your sockets in fear. I hate this. Alright. The lead sound editor told us to stop. He had to call in the creator to see this Mr. Hillenberg.
Cameo, bro. He's a cameo.
By the way, Hillenberg actually retired from the show at this point. He quit after the movie in season 3. So, this isn't true. Nerd emoji. He was confused as to why he had been called down. So the editor just continued the episode. Once the next few frames were shown, all streaming and sound again stopped. So we were just staring at the viewer, his face taking up the full frame for about 3 seconds. The shot quickly panned out. The deep voice said, Do it. and we saw a shotgun in Squidward's hands.
Disappeared.
He immediately puts the gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Realistic blood and brain matter splatters the wall behind him in his bed, and he flies back with force. The last 5 seconds of the episode show his body on the bed on its side, one eye dangling from what's left of its head above what's left of his head above the floor, staring blankly at it. Then the episode ends. Mr. Hillenberg was obviously angry at this. He demanded to know what the hell was going on. Most people left the room at this point, so there were just a handful of us left to watch it again. Viewing the episode twice only served to imprint the entirety of it in my mind. It caused me horrible nightmares. I'm sorry I stayed. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, not to say like a full ass, like, you know, like a Squidward suicide episode exists, but like, people like vent art a lot when they work on stuff like this. I wouldn't be surprised if there were like actual images like, you know, Squidward with a shotgun
like the
actually
gore?
existed. Yeah, like an actual animator drew
Like
at one point.
I mean, if you scroll down a little bit, there's videos, some like fan made.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
We'll get to them in a second.
Yeah.
The only theory we could think of was that the film had been edited by someone in the drawing studio to here. CTO
Like
was
the
called in to find out
team.
when it happened. Analysis of the file did show was mixed with the new material. However, the timestamp of the change was a mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All the equipment involved was examined for foreign software and hardware as well as glitches, such as that the timestamp was showing us the wrong time. But everything checked out fine. We didn't know what happened, and to this day, nobody does. There was an investigation due to the nature of the photos, but nothing came of it. No child scene was identified, and no clues were gathered from the data involved, nor physical clues from the photos. I never believed in unexplainable phenomena before, but now that I've seen something happen to me, I can't prove anything about it beyond anecdotal evidence. I think twice about things. I think that video I told you about that like scared the shit out of me when I was little, it's one of these. I think it might be just the first one on the left.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, it's this one.
This is.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's kind of funny. He literally is just going.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually like. I hated that. That like actually sucks. That like actually disappointed me. Not in like a haha funny matter. Like, man, even for that time that was tasteless.
A lot of stories at the same time like did that type of stuff though. Like, if you wanted your story to be really really shocking, just throw in dead children.
Fucking hell. Alright,
Okay,
so the next story we're reading is going to be Sonic.EXE. This story's a piece of shit. I don't think I've ever actually read the story. I just like generally know what happens in it. So yeah, Waleed's gonna take it this time.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be listening.
I'm excited.
And the best part about this is Waleed's not really even like a Sonic fan. I grew up with Sonic actually. So I will be able to like nerd on this and correct them if anything is wrong. Yeah, whenever you want to begin, go ahead.
Alright, let's go. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like anyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played the glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you, in parentheses he says, I liked how you get to explore the towns in it, until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note. I looked at the note first, and I realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Who I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. Though, what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle was having a hard time writing it and writing it down and did it in a hurry. Wait, so how did he know it was him if it was completely different? Okay. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me.
He's too fast for me.
Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy the disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy. Please, Kyle.
Wait, why does he just like? Why doesn't he just
he had
destroy
enough time
himself?
So you tell me he has enough time to like
to write this
all
in
this
email,
and send
not
it to
email.
the post to the post office?
Send it to his friend, but he can't destroy the CD himself.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking weirdo. Alright, let's continue. Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend, I hadn't seen him in 2 weeks. I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway.
Wait, all caps,
Anyway. I looked at the disc, and it looks like any ordinary computer CDR disc, except it had black marker written on it. It read Sonic.EXE, and it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD. I was actually excited and wanted to play it since I'm a big Sonic fan. Any Sonic fans like instant reaction to seeing anything Sonic is just to consume it immediately. Fucking.
There's just something like about Sonic and autism that go like hand in hand. I don't know what it is.
Colorful and it's fast and.
No, that's ADHD.
Same thing. Anyways, I went up to my room and turned on my computer and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome! Because like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start, there was a split second, when I saw the title image, that turned into something much different. Something that I now consider horrifying.
That I now consider horrifying. I like that he's like, oh, I put in the game, and I'm like, awesome! As if Sega hasn't fucking re-released the first Sonic game 50 times on every console known to man. It is literally the most accessible game ever, I'm pretty sure. It is the most re-released game of all time.
Doesn't that go to, like, Resident Evil 4? Or...
No, because Resident Evil 4 fucking came on GameCube.
Yeah, but it has, like, a bunch of, like, other, remasters or remakes and stuff.
Sonic 1 is on Sega Genesis. Sorry, I'm gonna fucking do this right now. It's on Genesis, Game Gear, Master System, GameCube, PS2, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, probably gonna be on Switch 2 really soon. I don't think it's on. Technically, it's on Wii via backwards compatibility. It's not on Wii U. It's on DS. It's on GBA. It's
wait. So you mean it has the most ports, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking of remasters. Am I?
No, not remasters. Fuck that.
Okay. Where was I? Okay. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened. The title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 666, and the water had turned red like blood.
But the freakiest
thing. So you telling me like this guy saw that for a split second and was able to tell all of that? Okay.
I like that the gold ring that Sonic in, like in the title card, like he's inside of a gold ring, and he said that it rusts.
Blue.
I'm sorry to nerd out. Gold doesn't rust. that can't happen. Sorry. Go on.
Let's get through this because I can't stand this. But the freakiest thing was that in the split-second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding with two glowing red dots staring right at me. And his smile had stretched wider up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about that image when I saw it, though I figured it was just a glitch and forgot about it.
Fucking hell.
After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. And then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up, and I was like, WTF? What's this thing doing in the first Sonic game? Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was the dark, cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD, and there were only 3 save files. The music was...
Bro.
the music was the creepy Cavern of Winter music from Earthbound.
What? Why is that?
Only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. And the image for the save file, you see a preview of the level you're on, is just red static for all 3 files. So this guy just dropped like 3 or 5 like fucking
references to other like games.
What freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Now I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out? This really sounds like a fucking nerd. Actually, Robotnik isn't playable. Okay, anyways, I gotta finish this. We gotta finish this. That's when I realized this wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. Parentheses, or at least I tried not to be. I told myself that it was just a hacked game and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, shaking off the creep feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails when I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh that sounded awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more, then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shades were different shades of red, and the text only showed Hill, Act 1. The screen faded in and level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running like he would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones, very slowly, as I kept going.
I gotta say this right now. I fucking hate how, like, agonizingly slow this dude describes every bit of detail. Like, he doesn't have any room for imagination at all. Like, everything is answered and everything is described in such fucking painful detail. This entire paragraph is this entire paragraph right here is him saying, I saw the text on the black screen and then I walked for 5 minutes. Why don't you just keep playing? I would be like, this is boring, and then I close the game. Dude held Dude held D on his fucking keyboard for 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is unrealistic. If this was an actual Sonic fan, he would just his fucking ADHD wouldn't let him sit still. Alright. I suddenly saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground. That was when the music had started to slow down, in parentheses. Tails had a shocked and sad look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worrying look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past him, looking more and more worried as the music lowers, and he moves past more dead animals. Okay. I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanged on a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out.
What is with these fucking creepypastas and like entrails being ripped out? Jesus Christ.
A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and the duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals and the music has seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill and he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there on the other side of the screen with his back against Tails with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as he was totally oblivious to Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make a move, so this must have been a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard faint static growing loud as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder.
He's not real, you know.
You can just unplug your
You just like you hit the
Alt
escape key.
F4.
Yeah.
Just Alt F4. Yeah. Anyways, suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open. They were black with those red glowing dots, just like the title image. Though, what thought there wasn't a smile.
Yeah.
When that happened, the screen turned black and the static was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared, forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play a game with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with this game, but my curiosity
yeah,
got
because
the better
the
of me.
fucking dead animals you watched for 5 whole minutes wasn't creepy enough. Jesus Christ.
But my curiosity had got the better of me when I was taken to a different level with the level tile now saying hide and seek. This time I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area as he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the
What?
Ark. What?
A creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the Ark as Robotnik and S.A. Zoo. What is this?
Sonic Adventures 2 was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds passed as I helped Tails run through the forest. And then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen again with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly getting up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running. He was actually flying.
Yeah, Super
The
Sonic
flying pose. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in
Dude,
Sonic
come on.
CD.
This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Why do you have to mention this dude? What the fuck?
Because actually, it's just to show that he's a really knowledgeable Sonic fan.
Fucking nerd.
Except it was just Sonic, and he had the black and red eyes again only. This time, he had the most deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, the music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kind of teared up myself.
I kind of teared up myself.
Oh, Tails.
No, Tails, no. Don't cry, he's gone.
But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down from those blackened eyes of Sonic's grin. As a grin slowly grew from his face, and he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen went black, and there was a loud screeching noise that lasted only 5 seconds. The text returned only this time, and it said, "You're too slow. Want to try again?" And then a god-awful laugh came with it.
Yeah, that Capcom laugh.
I was... Do you want to read the rest of it?
Yeah, I'll read more, because I think Knuckles is
Okay.
next, and Knuckles was my
Yes.
favorite Sonic character as a little kid, so I'll read
Alright,
Knuckles.
go ahead.
I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic just murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails were supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? I shook the shock off. That's a phrase. I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the character select. The save file that Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black, and an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. The laugh came back, yeah, the dreaded Kefka laugh. It came back, and the screen cut to black again, stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch. Come on, it's not a glitch. How could a game be? Oh my fucking god, this is pissing me off. For a fucking nerd, you're an idiot. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch or a hack or some kind of sick, twisted joke, or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the Scrap Brain Zone, which is from I think Sonic 2.
Holy moly.
What?
Just continue reading. I'm looking at all like the names that he's dropping right now.
But the sky background looked like the main menu, and the dark reddish cloudy sky. But it was the music that creeps me out the most. It sounded like the Geiger's name, Randy. You beat Porky in Earthbound. Dude, stop referencing Earthbound. Oh my god.
But Gygas is scary.
Oh my god. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid just like no, Knuckles was a fucking sick, he would not be afraid. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid just like Tails did, though not as much, more rather he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on, but it made him move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times, and then that maddening laugh came again. Then after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains in the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible was going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him. Dude, now you're making me scared. Oh shit. I gotta look around. Is Sonic in my room? Please don't get me, Sonic.
Just make sure Sonic Plus doesn't appear behind you.
Only have a Meta Knight behind me. I don't think he's gonna hurt me. He's gonna protect me.
Exactly.
Suddenly as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes, and then the red static appeared again. And when the static vanished, something showing nothing but black screen with text saying, "Found you." I was now scared. You weren't already. You are now, though. I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What's going on? Sorry. I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What's going on? Anyway, red static came again. Because they put an exclamation mark and a question mark at the end of both of those sentences.
What was going on?
Anyway, I love how they keep using anyway to just continue, because they're bad transitions. Anyway, red static came again, and then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. At this time, that high-pitched squealing from Silent Hill once final boss was playing.
This dude is like, this is the writer of Ready Player One, is referencing shit everywhere.
Dude, Jesus, this is just Fortnite.
Fortnite for fucking losers.
This is no different than just some fucking Fortnite creative game, really. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles in what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic. But Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and Sonic vanished again. Jesus Christ! Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckled, as Knuckled, as Knuckled fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. And in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles and the screen went black, with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with. So little time. Would you agree? What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game. I was too scared to think that. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood.
Dreadlocks? His dreadlocks?
And his eyes were black and bleeding too, and he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, so I shut off the game. So I shut off the game and took a break. Okay, just don't come back to it. I took a nap. Wish I hadn't, because then I began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in a pitch black. I don't remember this. I don't remember this part at all of the nightmare. This is weird. I've heard people like recount the story several times. I haven't heard anybody like talk about this nightmare part.
It's probably not even fucking.
I took a nap, which I hadn't, because then I began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in a pitch black darkness. I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Their cries died out as then I heard Sonic laugh. His laugh. It sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh.
How many times does this dude go bring up?
I think Kefka has been referenced in this more than any other like fucking like Sonic character other than Sonic. Like, that is actually insane. You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle, though he didn't last long. I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. Won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed grinning face. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. It's a hack game. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotic next. I still thought that was wacky.
Wacky.
What the fuck? I still thought that was
Completely
wacky.
normal reaction.
Playing as Robotnik, but anyway, the level title appeared again, and this time it said dot
Dot dot dot.
dot dot, which I found really freaky. This time, I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games. Though it has pixelated style, the floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were a dark grayish purple with animated candlelights. Sounds like a Castlevania thing. And a few dark bloodstains. Yeah, it sounds like Castlevania. And a few dark bloodstains here and there. There's a dark red curtain hanging above on the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly. Dude counted, like, oh my fucking god.
He counted the frames.
Yes!
The frame rate.
Oh my god! Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly. Whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song. But I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face as if he was a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. He turns his head to the left and then to the right at least twice, and then shrugs at me, as if he has no idea where he is or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation. You know, when you've beaten him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him. as we continue going through the hallway. Then, I stop at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotic seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. As I led Robotic down the stairs, the I isn't capitalized, it should be. I've tried to go back with Robotic, but he just always fell on the stairs? What? What was that part of the story? I don't remember that. Like... I noticed that the walls have gone darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs. This one was much longer. It took at least 1 full minute. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again, and the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark red, and the torches were a black flame now. How did you be able to tell it's a black flame if you can't fucking see it? When Robotic landed onto the third hallway, I noticed he now looked really creeped out. Though he tried to hide it, I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Suddenly,
how do you notice that if they're like fucking 16-bit images, like sprites?
Maybe it's like a really expressive sprite, like his mouth is really fucking big and he's like really, really sad.
He's like, it's like that one scene from Coraline where like the other guy's doing like, he put a long face and he like fucking stretches his mouth open.
Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotic the same way he did Knuckles, and then Red Static. The red static lasted up for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. ... The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic. Wait, the image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic, standing in the darkness where you can only see his face, while his head and torso fade into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean like he looked so real you could actually see the lines in his blue fur. As if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. Jesus Christ. God damn it, Squidward Suicide. They did the exact same thing. Like, oh, Squidward crying.
You could feel it.
You could, if you touch
So
the screen,
wait,
you could feel
hold on.
blood.
So when they say hyper realistic, are they literally just saying that like it's coming through the screen, so you can?
I
or
guess.
I guess it's just like they look realistic, or why hyper realistic? Anyways, continue.
His face. Oh God. It had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. And that's saying something concerning. I saw that image at the start of the game. His eyes are wide and black and once again crying blood, which also, in parentheses, which also looked hyper realistic. And there were 2 small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat. I don't know what that is.
From Alice in Wonderland, you know that purple
Oh,
cat?
yeah, like the weird fucking freaky thing. Yeah, okay, I know him.
Yeah.
But it said like a Cheshire cat, so I thought it was just like something I didn't know. Except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs, much like the werehog's teeth. Except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off of it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me, that face. It just took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Then the screen flickered with red static again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard the Kafka laugh, oh wow. And so this time it sounded distorted. Demonic even. So it was like, like that?
Yeah.
Is that what it is now? Demonic?
Yeah.
Instead of I went
Freaking DDD.
yeah, DD. I went back to the image again, except this time there was the text again, though it was messed up. But it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had started the game. I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Sonic it hit me. I realized right then and there. Then it stopped and showed nothing but black screen. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Kafka laugh, now sounding more clear
Oh my God.
was right behind me. Played again 3 times. 3 times! as I looked at the text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray. His mustache drooped and had blackened. His glasses broke and blood is coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. The red static popped up once again.
Robotnik.
Probably built like him. The red static popped up once again, and quickly an image of Sonic and Tails. Tails is not capitalized. Sonic and Tails with some moving hellfire in the sky being red. Sonic and the sun in his center enlightening him, and he also had 2 white angel wings, and he was carrying Tails. Why is Tails not capitalized? Dude, it's not capitalized. Like, he was carrying Tails, not capitalized, away by his red shoes, and Tails, not capitalized, screaming for help. Jesus Christ, this is actually gonna be an aneurysm. Sonic and the sun in his center enlightening him, and he also had 2 white angel wings, and he was carrying Tails away by his red shoes, and Tails screaming for help face on this image was evident. Fucking Jesus.
What the fuck are you reading?
And below right were the big letters of game over. Also a reverse creepy relaxing piano melody was playing while the image was still being shown. This Sonic was a monster. A pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is a very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Quick red static popped up once again, and a message in Japanese, because foreign stuff is scary. In Japanese, white small letters showed up with translated to, I don't remember this at all. What the fuck? There is a way to release ourselves, a spell to obtain our souls once more, but when we speak it, no sound.
What the fuck is this?
We are all deaf, so failure is inevitable, and I regret ever entering my eternal bet with the devil inside of me. Immortality versus soul snatching. Gary, what is this? Gary Crook
Isaiah?
versus... I don't think this is it.
Isaiah. I think you're reading the wrong thing.
Am I?
You're reading the wrong thing.
No, I'm not.
Everything
no.
that we've read,
No,
you are.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
You're reading the wrong one.
No way! Dude.
It's this one. No, everything you've read up until what's it called? I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik. That was right, but for some reason, everything else, I don't know if it's like a...
So, am I reading like a fan remake? What is this?
I think you are.
I hate Sonic fans so much. I just wasted my time reading this bullshit!
No. Most of what you read, almost everything we've read up until, I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik is... I sent to you.
This is so fucking stupid. What the fuck is this? Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh,
so I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik. If you want, I can finish reading it if you want me to.
Actually,
you want me to finish?
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, so I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit, blah, 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 blah. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. Yeah, so, the one I was reading had a fan-made extension of, like, Tails being carried away by, like,
Heaven,
Sonic
angels,
yeah.
what the hell are you talking about?
I hate Sonic fans so much.
I thought you were going like a schizophrenic ramble or some shit.
No.
Bro's making his own, like, prophetic fucking Sonic fanfiction.
No. I actually hate Sonic fans so much. Only Sonic fans would make some autistic extension of this. Only they would do this. I'll finish this bullshit up.
Alright.
Because I fucking hate this. I want to die. I'll read that part again. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog and always will be. The computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who plays this game in more ways than one, and then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. He drags you to hell, where he can play with you always as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard a voice from behind me like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling with blood stains under his eyes. And that is the piece of shit, absolute dog shit, known as almost said Sonic.EXE. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's the best thing to ever. Okay, so what the hell did you send me?
It was just a creepypasta thing. Like, the entire story was correct except for that part.
Sonic.exe original story.
The entire story is correct, yeah. The entire thing is until you get to the very bottom.
So maybe somebody edited the fan page and then put their own, like,
I fucking hate
weird
oh my
shit
god,
in it.
dude. Only Sonic would do this, bro. Only Sonic fans would do this.
Entity-X. What the fuck is an Entity-X? Is that who Sonic.exe is? Yep, it is. Entity-X. This came out in 2011. God damn.
Hold on, let me see. I know it's super late right now, but let me see how long like Beale's lost episode is. Maybe I can get that one out of the way.
It's very long. It's very long.
Fuck.
It's not very long, but it's I'm probably gonna call it a night. Like that shit fucking took every single soul about me.
Okay, well I think here honestly, three creepypastas. I feel like that's enough. It's about like I think like an hour and a half worth of content we got. So
we can do another one like a different time. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this does well enough, or if we just fucking feel like it, we can read more.
Yeah, for sure.
You got any closing words to say?
I will say as shitty as these like stories are, they are very, very like influential towards me. I would say like I don't think I would be nearly as interested in writing if it weren't for these fucking.
I wouldn't be nearly
Jeff the Killer.
I'd be interested in horror if it wasn't for creepypastas.
Yeah, like Jeff the Killer used to just keep me up at night. I can't lie, chat.
So fun fact, gang. My first time reading Jeff the Killer was like a week ago when Waleed told me to read it, and I was taking a shit after work. That was when I read it. That is foreshadowing. If I ever saw foreshadowing. We read 3 stories. So from the 3 you read, I'd argue all 3 are really bad. What is the best to worst to you?
Okay.
I unironically think EXE is worse than Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, it goes EXE, then Jeff, then Squidward's Slip and Slide. Because at least Squidward's like it's the way it was written is actually like readable. It's not like filled with.
So I'm not gonna lie, like I was like messaging Waleed about this, but like when reading Squidward again, like I was like looking over my like fucking shoulder and like paranoia and shit, and not like it's too spooky for me, whatever. I felt like when I was reading out loud, genuinely is like incriminating. Like that's what it felt like. It felt really bad to read that out loud, because it was like written in such a way like there wasn't like any like, oh haha that's stupid or like misspells. Like it was like perfectly readable. It was written in like such a convincing way. It was so weird.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I fucking believed it 100% as a kid. But yeah, Squidward's was definitely the best of the three. Than Jeff, unironically better than Sonic.EXE. I actually hate EXE so much. That is so dog shit. Oh, before we go, we gotta read the. So, for those who don't know, in like early 2014, I think, the guy who made Sonic.EXE got his story removed from Creepypasta.com, and he had a little bit of a thing to say on his Fur Affinity account, because of course it's Fur Affinity. So, I'm going to read what he says, and I'm going to quote word for word what he says, so excuse any bad things this person has to say. I deeply regret to inform you all that I have received some bad news. The admins of the Creepypasta wiki have phonetically, he misspelled finally, as phonetically, finally decided to delete Sonic.EXE off of the wiki, on the grounds that it was, quote, badly written, and, quote, had too many cliches, and, quote, was a bad example of what a creepypasta should be. Bull friggin' horseshit! As you can see, I am furious with the fact that my masterpiece, which has won the hearts of millions and has made a massive impact on the internet, is being brought down by a bunch of jealous, arrogant, retarded furry haters. But that does not mean I'm just going to sit down and take this lightly. Nope. They have been messing with the bull, and now they've called out the horns. Listen, everyone, I need your help with this. We are at war here. I want every Sonic.EXE fan who is reading this to get the word out. I want you to tell every other Sonic.EXE fan out there, every fanatic, every artist, every follower of my creation about this. Tell your friends who are also Sonic.EXE fans if they have to. Tell them we have to keep the spirit of Sonic.EXE alive. Make more fan art, make more videos, block the haters, praise Sonic.EXE like you never have before. Build websites dedicated to his greatness. Whatever you can do, keep him alive and strong. Just do it. The deletion of Sonic.EXE from the wiki is but a minor cut on our flower of greatness, my friends. And he's speaking like it's a cult. It's so weird. And that cut has done nothing but further the spreading, and we are the pollen of this flower. We need to prepare for our victory over the haters. The haters need to bleed for their crimes. Rejoice, my fellow Sonic.EXE fans. Our glorious little hellspawn shall have the laugh yet, the capital laugh. This will be our ultimate victory. The absolute subjugation of the internet itself. And that's how it ends.
Bro is like...
He is actually the embodiment of revenge. Holy shit.
Bro's a cult leader.
Yeah, he is speaking like it's a cult. It's so weird. I think EXE might actually be like the worst of like the influential popular ones. I don't know if it can be topped. I don't know if that's possible. I thought like Jeff was bad. It was.
Wait, you mean like worse or like you mean like influential?
Like badly written. Badly written
yeah,
towards
fucking,
like the influential ones.
I
thought Jeff was like dog shit when I read it on the toilet. I thought it was really bad, but like it literally got me to laugh. EXE was like actually painful. Like it still made me laugh, but that was actually so painful. Christ. Hey, we got through it. I'm glad we did.
Me too.
All right, so that was it. We got the 3 stories and the little creator rant. If this does well enough, or if you feel like it, we'll do another.
Exactly.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, you fucking bastards.
That's about it. See ya.
Yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Jeff the killer. Jeff the killer. The killer. The killer is Jeff. This is the moment where Jeff becomes the killer.
This is when Jeff the killer is like the killer. I wish his name was like Jeffrey Keela. Like his full name was like Jeffrey Keela. That would have killed me.
It's like some like French, like Jeff Luckily the killer. Le killer.
Jeff the killer. Jesus fucking Christ.
Alright, I need sleep, bro. Good night.
You get up, dude. Have a good night.